Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so excited. I am getting ready for Jesus Deliver International Ministry, our Sunday morning service. But I wanted to get on to JDI Networks this morning. We have started something big. JDI Networks is a network of businesses, and media broadcast. And you will find God is just moving us leaps and bounds. And I just wanted to let you all know that we are moving forward with the plans of the Lord. And He will be bringing on other ministries other than my Jesus Deliver International Ministry. He will be bringing worship arts ministry, entertainment ministry. So many other ministries are coming to JDI Networks. We start off with Jonique Design Incorporated back in 2000 as an fine art company. As you see behind me is artwork. Every time I preach or we on the air, it's always artwork just about in the background. Because that is the foundation of this ministry. And as I continue on doing what thus said the Lord, no matter what the circumstances and situation was, because God is in control of everything, it kept growing and growing and growing. It started off, like I said, with artwork. I did exhibiting in Northern Virginia, Maryland, and the D.C. area. And then I went to Florida, I went to California, I went to Georgia, and around a lot of military bases. I just kept going. I kept going. What happened was in 1999, I was going through this huge crisis, trying to find out, who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? Why did God create me? So all of a sudden, I wanted to paint. Now, when I was a child, I did a lot of little arts and crafts and went to the community center and always creating things, and I like that. But I also played this, when you're a little kid, you play this little game as being a teacher. I remember being outside with all my little dolls and my little Kool-Aid and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That was my lunch. And I was always out there by myself with my dolls, and I was teaching them. I was like this school teacher. So I went to school to be a teacher, but I was told that it wouldn't pay anything. You're not going to make anything. So I really didn't know what to do. I was very smart and did not realize that because of the environment that I lived in. It made you look like that because you were black, you were ignorant. So I had all these things going on with me, and I had discipline problems because I wasn't able to create. So as I went on throughout the years, graduated from high school, went to college, got married, had 2 kids, and then divorced, and back home and back where I really love, which was Northern Virginia, I end up in 1999, I start painting. All these things were in my head. And then God had me to go to the store, to the art store, pick out canvases, and just start painting. And I start painting, and I start painting, and I start feeling better. It's like I found my purpose. I birthed out something. Oh, wow. And I kept going and I couldn't stop. When I didn't have any more money, I took shoe boxes and then I painted white. I gave it a surface, a base. And then I started painting and painting. And then I started matting and framing and painting. And I couldn't stop. I found found my purpose. I found God within my purpose. And I would look at movies and I'll see certain colors and I paint them. And people start buying it. I was like, what? I can make money off of this? I feel good. I found my purpose. So one of the paintings, which is on our, when you look at our different channels, it's called the Publishing Hour Show. That particular painting, I painted and I wanted to hide it because I thought it didn't look right. And I had some friends at that time, they would talk about my paintings and, telling me how bad they look and all this and that. And I remember a man that I was working with on a project, his girlfriend told me about this gallery. So I went over to where she told me and I walked in and there was the director of the gallery. And so I scheduled a time and I did my exhibit. And at the time I was making pretty good money because I was into sales. I was selling advertisement for commercial. So at that time I had a little bit change, okay? But as my friends were talking about my paintings, I did, it was a local gallery for local artists. And then it was a national gallery in another room. Of course, I didn't know anything about the art world. I just know what felt good to me, and God put these people in my life, and I just did what I was supposed to do. I was so excited, and then my friends were talking about me like a dog, and I was like, you know what? I feel good about this, so this must be God, so I'm going to continue on going. So one of my paintings sold. I only had 30 days in which I was actually doing my exhibit, and one of them sold. I was so excited, and that showed me not to listen to those naysayers. The way they were talking about my work, they came to my opening, they looked at all of them, they talked about them, and it was more ridicule. And then one of them said, well, I just don't understand this kind of art. That's what it was. She didn't understand abstract art. She only understood realism. When she saw fruit, she knew it was an apple or orange or banana. That's all she can see. She couldn't see beyond the natural. And I didn't know at that time that I was walking in the spirit, and these paintings were abstract art, but they were prophetic art because of the prophetic call that was on my life. So I was so excited when one sold, and then somebody came in my house before I went to the exhibit thing. Telephone man came and bought one of mine. He said somebody, because I had them all hanging on the wall and everything, because my kids were really good, but they didn't care for it. And so I said, I'm gonna do it, So I hung them all over the wall and everything. I made a little like a gallery on my wall, and the telephone man said, is somebody in here, an artist? I said, I guess I am. And so he saw one and he bought it. And that's what started me into actually seeing that God had plans for my life that I didn't even know about. You see, after I had went to school for a school teacher, college for a school teacher, and they told me not to go, and then I got married and did all these other things, I was still lost because I couldn't find my purpose. But I always followed Jesus because my mama kept me in church all the time and Sunday school and everything else. And I read, I had a personal relationship with God. So I knew it was something that he wanted me to do, but what it was, I didn't know what that was. So when I found this particular thing, this art, I went at it. And I remember the scripture in Matthew 25 that talked about the parable of the talents. And that one painting that I was telling you about on the Publishing Hour show. It talked about the parable of talents, and I remember reading that, and it said that the one that hid it. So I wanted to hide that painting, but after I read that scripture, I said, oh no, I'm not going to hide this. So I just started letting everybody see it, and somebody bought it. The one that I was trying to hide, somebody bought it. But God showed me so many ways of putting this art together. He showed me how to do clays. I learned how to do everything in the art world. And I was so excited, and I was exhibiting all over the place. I went to so many different states and so many different areas, and I was so excited. But this is the talent that started Jonique Design. Jonique Design, the name comes from my son's name is John, and I had a daughter named Nicole. But uniqueness, so is Jonique was John and Nicole, but uniqueness, and it was everything I did was very unique. I was making jewelry. I was just always creating so many different things: pins, necklaces, earrings, all kind of things I used to create. And so the name Jonique Design comes from that. So I started off with Jonique Design, and then eventually it went incorporated. It went incorporated after I wrote my book, Life After the Kids and God's Plan. And that's what you see the book covers on that the Publishing Hour show. And I wrote that book by my experiences, what was going on within my life. So God told me to incorporate, because as a sole proprietor, if anything happened, people can sue you. They can sue you for your house. They can sue you for everything. So he said incorporate it, and when you incorporate it, it's a company outside of you. I may be the CEO and founder, but they can't sue me. They have to sue the company. And most people, when they see a startup company, they're not going to sue it because they know there's nothing there. We just barely making ends meet. We barely producing the product. And everything that I get from what I work at, I help produce that product. So there's no money in the company right at the time. And we still, with that, we still making it. And then from the art, and then the publishing, and then the courier service, and then it's so many other, the ministry, I forgot that main thing. It's a ministry. God put all this stuff in my head. And I remember when I moved from Maryland, he sent me to Georgia. And that's when the ministry started. Because I was running. I did not want to be in the ministry because of the experience I found with Christians. And they wasn't good. It's like the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And if you read the Bible, you will see how the church was. And I wanted to be like Jesus. I just wanted to walk and talk and give the word and just move on. It's no drama in Jesus. So I just want to give you a little glimpse about JDI Networks. Like I said, it's a network of businesses, ministries, number one, businesses, and media broadcasting. Because we go around and we broadcast the different shows and make them out of videos, and that's what you're looking at right now. So I thank you. We're going to have more to come. I will be putting these little segments out there from time to time when I have enough time before my other messages in which I have to teach. So follow me on over to it's on our network. If you on JDI Network, you will see the 2016, and click on that, because that's Jesus Deliver International ministry, and we have a 10 a.m. service this morning. So click on that at 10 a.m. I'm getting ready to shift over and go there, and check out things and just get ready for the word that God has given to me for you this morning. And you know what it's called? God is preparing you and has chosen you. So this is part of the network of JDI Networks. It's Jesus Delivery International Ministry. So go over, click on that at 10 a.m. and see what God has for you. This is Apostle Jimmie Jamra with Jesus Delivery International Ministry and JDI Networks. I hope you tune in. We're going to have more and more and more to come. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.